Hey everybody, I have a video for you today on a very important topic, and that topic is called enthusiastic consent. I'm going to tell you guys a story about somebody who did not obtain enthusiastic consent from me repeatedly and who was very predatory towards me, and I didn't recognize that her behavior was predatory because she was a woman. And so I'm going to tell this story because I want you guys and girls and everything in between and everything not on the guy and girl spectrum at all to be aware of certain behaviors that anybody can perpetrate regardless of gender identity. So here we go. Let me tell the story. I met this girl. She seemed like a really nice person, if a little bit over enthusiastic when it came to messaging people and inviting people to do things and complimenting people. So enthusiastic that she made lots of people uncomfortable, and a lot of people didn't really like her, and they were kind of mean to her because of the fact that she was kind of off-putting with how often she would message people. I hope that you guys can see me. I'm gonna creep up a little higher. Roll position to sit and film. Okay, so I'm gonna... That was almost a disaster. Okay. Hey, sorry y'all, I needed to adjust because the position I was sitting in was not sustainable. I'm going to restart where I left off, which I believe I was explaining that this girl had a pattern of crossing boundaries and making people uncomfortable. And people would tell her that she was making people uncomfortable with the amount of messages she would send, the amount of compliments she would send, the nature of the compliments she sent, the amount of time she would ask people to hang out. Like, people told her, her friends told her, hey, you are taking things too far and you're making people uncomfortable. And in general, she would reply by saying things like, oh, that's just how I am. That's just because I'm nice. And it's like, no, you were crossing boundaries. People are trying to explain to you that you're crossing boundaries. You're being creepy and you're making people uncomfortable. And if you're making people uncomfortable, it doesn't matter if you think you're being nice. You need to stop what you're doing. And so I should have, looking back, I should have realized, but I thought people were just being mean, honestly. So I try to be nice to her, okay? And so we would go out drinking, me, her, and a group of acquaintances and friends. And when we would go out drinking, I remember the first time it happened, she messaged me the next day and told me that we had made out and asked me if I remembered because I seemed pretty drunk, and I didn't remember. And I was pretty not happy about that. I don't recall exactly what I said to her, but I don't believe I was flirty or made it sound like I was pleased to learn that I had done something I didn't remember, because nobody likes not remembering something that happened. And this isn't a night where I blacked out all night, okay? This is a night where I remember pretty much everything except for maybe 30 minutes of the night. And in that 30 minutes, she made out with me and touched me and things like that. And it made me really uncomfortable, and I didn't know what to do about it because I've never really had a girl do that to me. I've only really ever had guys do that to me. And with guys, I know, just cut them off and be done. You know what I mean? Just don't talk to them anymore. Don't drink with them anymore when they do that kind of stuff. But with girls, it was new territory, and I was like, well, she's just weird, or she just awkward. She doesn't know. So I tried to be nice, and I didn't. I should have been more assertive about it, but also, you have a responsibility to not take advantage of someone when you know they're drunk. So if she had to ask me if I could remember, she knew how drunk I was, and she did it anyway, and I think that is not right. So this happened a few more times, and again, each time she would tell me the next day that it happened, and was never ever concerned with the fact that I couldn't remember doing it. Never seemed to wonder, hey, this girl only kisses me when she's so drunk that she can't remember. Maybe she doesn't find me attractive. Because I didn't. I don't. She's a cute girl, but she's not my type. Not at all. And I don't have any form of attraction to her. Never did, and especially not now after the way she has disrespected me. Poe, stop it. Poe wants me to open the window for her. And I will as soon as I'm done filming this video. Poe! Hey, come here. Come here, baby. Okay, she stopped pawing. So anyway, she disrespected my boundaries and my space, and people told her she was being messed up. And yeah. So, okay. I know at some point I told her that I didn't want it to keep happening. I talked to one of her friends, someone who knows her well, about it, how creepy she was towards me and how she made me so uncomfortable. And she told me that she's done this to many people, and like that the girl has done this to many people, and the girl's friend told me that she had talked to her. The girl's friend had talked to the girl more than once about her pattern of making people feel uncomfortable and crossing boundaries and not respecting people and like how they feel and how uncomfortable she makes them, and to no avail. The girl just kept saying, oh, it's because I'm nice, people just, you know, I come on strong, but then people get used to me. And it's like, yeah, some people do, but most people don't. That's why, anyway. So after I learned this about everything, I started to regard her as more of a predator than a good-natured person who doesn't understand social cues. She straight up asked me one day if I would do things with her because she'd never been with a girl and wanted to try it. And so I was trying to be nice, and I told her that I wasn't interested because I don't really like to do things with my friends. That's not true. If my friend is hot and she's into me, who knows what's going to happen, you know? But I didn't know what to say to her without being like, dude, no, stop it. So, okay. I'm going to go read the messages now to you guys. So she says to me, this is the first time she ever asked me to do something with her. She says, would you ever do anything to me? Not trying to make this weird. I've just had this thing for a while about wanting to be with a girl and I haven't done it yet. Be honest. And I'm like, do you really want me to be honest? Because you're not going to, she doesn't take my no for no. Okay. So I say, I'm not really into FWB stuff with friends, I'm all for making out and touching outside the clothes, but for going further than that makes me uncomfortable. I would happily wing woman for you at lesbian bars or queer women's events in ATL, though. So I tried to be nice and let her down easy, and looking back, I think I let her down too easy. But also, like, stop kissing people when they're too drunk to remember it. That's, like, for me, that's not cool, in my opinion. She says, no worries, I was JW. I'm cool with what we've got, which was you making out with me when you're drunk. And then she sends, like, an emoji that's got its tongue sticking out and is winking. And it's like, okay, so you're aware that I only kiss you when you're drunk. And you're not questioning that at all? Like, that's so creepy to me. Like, I would never want someone to only kiss me when they're drunk. I want to know that they are interested in me sober. But that's just me. She says, and this is, okay, so that was on, what day did she say that? Let me see. That was on March 23rd that I replied to her on March 23rd. I don't think I replied to her the day that she said that because that was so weird. But it was no later than March 23rd of this year that she said that to me. And then she messages me again 6 days later and says, random, but I really wish you'd do stuff with me. I do find you super attractive, babe. I know it's weird for you and I don't want to mess up our friendship. And this is what I mean when I say I let her down too easy, but also, like, no is no. Okay? When someone says no, don't push them. If they give you a reason why, it's probably because they're trying to be nice, not because that's actually why they don't want to do things with you, okay? When people say no, that means no, no matter what reasons they give you. They said no, stop asking them. It's not like try harder the way some people think it is. No, it means no. So I said, I'm going to be blunt here. When someone tells you their boundaries, you respect them, period. Full stop, period. This is highly inappropriate and creepy, period. Imagine if your friend had a guy pushing her about this, period. You would be livid, period. You need to back off, period. And then on March, she replied to me later, like 30 minutes later, and says, yes, ma'am, I totally understand. I'm really sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I like being friends. And I'm like, dude, we're not friends. Friends do not make friends this uncomfortable. And then I didn't reply to her. And then she said, I really am sorry. I don't know why I'm like that. Crying emoji. And I'm like, I know why you're like that. It's because you don't care how you make other people feel at all. You have no regard for how other people are feeling around you. And that's why You make so many people uncomfortable and you cross so many boundaries, and that's why so many people do not want to spend time around you. So I replied to her and I said, someone who is not comfortable asserting themselves and their boundaries could easily, and I said that in all caps, get pressured by you into doing something that they do not want to do. I assume you aren't interested in sexually assaulting women, right? ? In order to not do that, you must respect their boundaries. No means no, and nobody should have to say it twice or even provide reasons behind the no. And she replies, oh no, I'm not. I really would never do that. She already has, technically. Doing sexual things with somebody when they are so drunk that they can't remember, they can't consent. So, just saying. You would do that, ma'am. And then she's like, I respect you, period. No, you don't. You do not respect me. I don't know why I did this. I know why. It's because you don't care about how other people feel. You only care about what you want. And that's messed up. And then she says, I feel awful. And I'm like, you probably do, because rejection hurts. I highly doubt you feel awful because of how you made me feel, though. If that was true, you would have stopped doing this to me a long time ago. And then she says, all I said was I wish. I wasn't pressuring you. I'm sorry you saw it like that. I'm not trying to force anything. I don't want you to see me like that kind of person. I value your friendship and I'm sorry I'm ruining it. We're not friends at this point, ma'am. You have creeped me the freak out, okay? And you are trying to pressure me. What she said was false, okay? What she just did was an example of gaslighting, okay? Saying I wasn't pressuring you when I've told you no multiple times firmly, like, you objectively are pressuring me. That's just a fact. Don't lie. Like, that's creepy. It's just everything she says is so manipulative. I'm sorry, crying emoji. Like, crying emoji. I'm sorry I'm ruining your friendship. Crying. I don't want you to see me like she's trying to make me feel bad for her. Because that's probably, like, that's how she got me to be her friend in the first place, was I felt bad for her. So, like, maybe she's like Jerry in Rick and Morty. I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty, but Jerry in Rick and Morty gets by in life by making people feel bad for him. And it's pathetic. Anyway, I said, what you did was pressuring. It's not about how I saw it. It's about what you said and the lines you crossed. And then she says, I'm so sorry, frowny face. I know what I did was bad. Can I make up for it? Are we done being friends? And I'm like, dude, we aren't friends. We've never been friends. Never. I try to be nice to you, and I wanted to be your friend, but frankly, we never were friends because you always made me so uncomfortable. I was honestly just trying to be nice. And I shouldn't have, honestly. I should not have been trying to be nice to you. And then, okay, so that's the last time we talked. So that was March 29th, okay? Okay. Hey guys, sorry, the lighting just changed because my camera cut out while I was filming. It ran out of space because I have a lot of stuff saved on my phone that I don't want to delete because I am kind of a hoarder of digital items. I also have lots of tabs open on all of my devices. I rewatched everything I've said so far to make sure that I am staying on track, and I sat and thought about what I wanted to say next, just to make sure that I do, because in the original take, I think I went off the rails a little bit right after the camera cut out. So that was very serendipitous of it. Okay, so the last time I spoke to her was on March 29th, and I said to her, so what you did was pressuring. It's not about how I saw it. It's about what you said and the lines you crossed. I was very firm. And I never replied to her again until today. She messaged me after I said that and said, I'm so sorry, crying face. I know what I did was bad. Can we make up for it? Are we done being friends? I didn't answer her because we were never friends. And I was obviously done, in my opinion. Then she messages me on March 9th at 11:38 p.m. to say, I miss you, frowny face. I'm sorry for everything that happened. Can we go back to being friends again? I would love to hang out with you and insert our friend's name. I'm not going to say her name. This summer. I came off as too much before. I really want to change. I miss being friends. So in my opinion, it's cool that she wants to change, and I hope that she does. I have no interest in knowing her. I didn't see this message or any of the other 2 messages that she sends me because I hid her messages on GroupMe because I didn't want to see anything else from her. I was done with her. However, on a computer, GroupMe doesn't necessarily hide messages. In fact, it doesn't. It does not hide messages. So I happened to see her message that she sent me today, which I'm going to read in a second. So that was the first time she messaged me, and I'm just kind of like, okay, if you want to change, but change for someone else, because I'm done. You had too many chances with me. You creeped me out. Leave me alone. I told her that she needed to back off. So then she messages me on June 16th, which is the day before my birthday, to tell me that she loves the pink. She says, I love the pink hair and I miss you. I'm really sorry for what happened. Can we be friends again? I want to see you. Okay, so June 16th was my birthday. I had pink hair because I was wearing this cute pink wig. And it was like a short wig, so people thought it was my actual hair. Because I know how to style wigs pretty realistically, even though all of my wigs are synthetic. Check out my wig video. Woo! Cross promotions. But, what was I saying? I got distracted. She messages me basically on my birthday, and it's kind of like, dude, can you, like, not put yourself on someone who clearly doesn't want to talk to you on their freaking birthday? Like, that's so rude. She's still demonstrating no respect for anyone's boundaries. She hasn't changed. And then she messages me on Sunday, which is Pride. Okay, she messages me on, like, the holiday of my people. Now that I'm out about being bi, you know, I can finally claim, you know, my, like, this is my first Pride being out, okay? This is, like, was kind of an emotional weekend for me, okay? And I came out to my parents last week, you know, like, you know, this is all new for me. Like, the last person I want to hear from is this girl who really, really crossed so many boundaries with me and disrespected me and made me feel bad and just was so unkind to me when I tried to show her nothing but kindness, even when I rejected her. And she took my kindness and used it against me in order to keep pushing me. And so for her to message me on my birthday and on Pride, to me, is just so wrong. And so she just said, I miss you a lot on Sunday. And she also followed me on Instagram on, like, it was like late Friday night, probably Saturday morning sometime, because I was out with my friend T, and I told her, and T was like, I don't remember what T said, but, like, I told T about it, and I was like, ugh, she better not talk to me. This was the girl who really creeped me out and, like, basically, like, just ignored the fact that I never consented to doing any of the things we did together, and she just didn't even care. Like, she just, after, she asked if it was okay, and I was just kind of like, I guess. You know, it's just like, what do you say to someone? Like, how do you say, like, hey, yeah, you kind of assaulted me? Like, that's really hard to say to someone, and, like, I don't really want to have to say that to people. People should freaking know if they assaulted you. They know. She knew. There's no way that she didn't know. Like, I fully believe that she knew what she was doing, and that she was just taking advantage of me. So, today I told her, dude, do not contact me. I'm going to try to look you guys in the eyes as I read off my screen. I made it very clear that I do not want to hear from you. You were objectively creepy towards me, and you made me very uncomfortable. The first time you and I drunkenly kissed should have been the only time. I told you that I didn't remember. You knew I was blackout. You weren't concerned at all about that. That is wrong. You need to be worried about other people's consent. If they can't remember, they couldn't consent. And you need to apologize, and you need to not do that again. It was not okay for you to keep taking advantage of me and when you knew I was too drunk. And it was even less okay to push my boundaries the way you did. I'm only telling you this for your own benefit because I've heard rumors that I'm not the only girl that you've treated in such a disrespectful way. Get yourself right. I'm only telling you this. Oh, wait, no, I already said that. And do not contact me again ever. Not even to say sorry. Goodbye. I'm never replying to you again. And I meant that. I'm never replying to her ever again. If I see her, I'm going to pretend I don't know her. I'm going to pull a Mariah Carey, you know. I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't know her. Okay? After this video is over, I don't know her. After this video is over, she doesn't exist to me. Like, if anyone wants to talk to me about her, I'm going to send them this link and say, I already did that emotional labor. I'm not going to be that sassy, but like, honestly, I'm not. So I want to end this video with like what I take away from this and what I've learned from this, so that anyone watching this who hasn't been through this before or might go through this in the future can learn. So one takeaway is that predators aren't always what you think they look like. They can be young women your age who are friends with your friends and went to the same school as all your friends and seems like a normal person aside from that pattern I explained of her disrespecting people's boundaries and making people uncomfortable that I should have seen earlier that I didn't. You know, that was the only red flag to me. Like, pay attention to that kind of behavior and keep an eye on those kinds of people. I feel like the camera is tilting. I think that's a little better. I mean, okay, look, if you need to talk about this because you're going through it, I'm here for you. Please reach out to me on Instagram. I want to summarize my points here. First of all, a predator isn't always what you think they look like. They can be a girl your age who went to school with your friends and is friends with your friends and seems nice. Okay? Pay attention. Point 2 here is pay attention to someone when people cross boundaries and they have a pattern of not caring how they're making other people feel. Pay attention to that because that is a red flag. Okay? And 3 is like, if somebody's ever making you uncomfortable and you don't want them to keep doing what they're doing, you have a right to tell them to stop, and you really should tell them to stop, because if it's not gonna make you unsafe for your own self, for your own sake, you need to tell people to stop. You need to draw those boundaries and make them very clear. Don't be like me. Don't try to be nice. Draw your boundaries and block them. And if they keep contacting you, you need to talk to someone about it and get a friend, get your parents, if you can. I don't know. If people are harassing you, that is very serious. And this girl, if she contacts me again and I notice it, because I have her messages hidden, so I might not notice it. If she contacts me again, I'm going to get a lawyer involved. And don't try me. If you watch this, you know who you are. Do not try me. That is the end of this video. Stand up for yourselves, guys, gals, everything in between, everything not in between, okay? Not everyone has a gender, fun fact. Not everyone is a guy or a gal, fun fact. Some of us are, though, like me. That's everything I have for you today. My friend Kylie, who has a really good Instagram that I'm going to put on the screen. She is a counselor, a family counselor, licensed, I think she's LPC, licensed practicing counselor, I want to say. I'm not positive. I think that's what it is. But she posted today online that setting boundaries doesn't... Oh, gosh, you guys, my Discord is going crazy. Okay, whatever. You guys can hear my Discord. I don't care. Whatever, it's fine. I guess it has to be fine. So she said today that putting up walls shuts people out, but setting boundaries shows people where the door is. And to me, what that means is like, you don't need to put up walls. You know, you don't need to just never talk to anyone, never let anyone in, but you need to set boundaries and make them very clear and be very firm so that when people disrespect them, you can show them the door. They are out. And that's what I'm doing with this girl. And that's what I'm doing with anyone else who treats me like this ever again. I'm never, like, I have been disrespected in this way and way, 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 way worse in my life. And I'm done. Never again. What's that movement? Time's up. Time is up here, okay? Hashtag me too. Time's up. I'm done. I want you to be done. Okay? We're all done. And this video is done. Have a good night.